The KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Coming up, Kelsey Keeney from the SEK Humane Society stops back by with a familiar face that's looking for a forever home.
That's right. Also, police arrest a woman suspected of assaulting a man with a knife.
And the Skywatch storm tracker is clear right now, and you can see where our storm activity from yesterday shoving off to the east. We've got more on your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Police arrest a woman suspected of assaulting a man with a knife, and when they found her, she was with a stolen car. Authorities say Chloe Crow of Lamar assaulted the man at the Divine Estates apartment complex in Lamar. The victim suffered from a cut to his neck. They say he did not know the suspect. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Crow is charged with first-degree assault and first-degree vehicle tampering. Authorities respond yesterday afternoon to a tractor-trailer fire along I-49 near the Bella Vista bypass. They say the semi became fully engulfed in flames, where it then spread across both southbound lanes. Traffic along I-49 was completely stopped and then diverted to US 71. The tractor-trailer was carrying cardboard. Missouri Southern is beginning its second week of the school year, and since President Biden announced the student debt relief plan last week, the school says it's getting inquiries from students who are trying to find how they can benefit from it.
Well, it certainly gives our students an opportunity to reduce the amount of debt that they have, maybe accumulated this far, or even former students that are struggling with how they're going to make repayment in the long term in their life. So it's an opportunity for us to help make sure they know that this is a possibility. And
for more information on the student debt relief plan, you can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Nevada's Senior Behavioral Health Center reopens after 2 years of being closed. The center is one of a few senior psychiatric centers in the state of Missouri. Workers there say with 8 new beds and cameras, they're ready to keep safety the #1 priority. They specialize in patients ages 55 and older.
It's a tempo of care that I personally enjoy, and I know other staff here does as well, but just being able to provide psychiatric care for that population has always been something that I've believed in. There's a need for, and so we're trying to extend that care for those patients.
The center will start taking patients September 1st. Little Balkans Days kicks off a week-long celebration in Pittsburgh to celebrate the region's diverse cultural and ethnic heritage. Events every night, from lots of music, tons of food, and dancing. Just a few. Also, the first home football game for PSU is this Thursday night, and planning for this event never stops.
So we start in October. We take November and December as kind of those thinking months to see what we're going to keep, what we're going to change, and then we hit the ground running in January. So it's a year-round activity.
Little Balkans Days ends this Sunday, September 4th. There are several ethnic foods that also tell some history. On Monday, people can learn how to cook some of that food through the Little Balkans Cooking School. It was a hands-on experience with samples and recipes included.
So this is the 37th year of the festival. It started back in 1984 in the planning phases, and 1985 was the first year, and it's to celebrate the cultural and ethnic heritage of the immigrant community and coal mining community here in southeast Kansas.
Cooking School organizers hope to make this an annual event during the Little Balkans Days.
So talking about how bad my short-term memory is, we've run Angela Meyer's interview twice this morning, and each time I said to myself, she's so familiar from somewhere.
Well, you interviewed her a couple of weeks ago, Chris.
I'm not kidding about how bad my short-term memory is. I'm like, I know I've seen her, but I couldn't place it. She was sitting in the chair right next to me a couple of weeks ago. Not even a couple of weeks ago.
And she's been helping to either as the president or like in a supporting role with the Little Balkans Days for so many years now that she does a wonderful job, She absolutely does. It's always a great time. We love taking the kids up there. They have a good time, so we're looking forward to going again this year. Yeah.
And weather's not going to be too terribly bad for it. But first, I want to tell you about this day in weather history. Now, these are the ones that I find more interesting that come from a long time ago. This is from the Revolutionary War, when it just started. 1776. So General George Washington took advantage of some heavy fog to evacuate Long Island, New York after a defeat. Now, adverse winds kept the British fleet from intervening, and the move saved the Continental Army to fight another day. It's always interesting when weather plays a unique role in history. And over the next few days, I don't know that the weather we're going to see will be historical, but it will be weather. It will be happening. Skies are gradually going to clear out today. Temperatures are going to get hot, but we're going to remain dry for most of the week. And then we're watching building storm chances by Thursday. So let's go ahead and take a look. Skywatch Storm Tracker, as we showed you earlier, is clear around here. All of our rain and activity has moved on off to the east, and it's going to stay there. That rain is done. We are dealing with some fog out there, and we've even got some patchy, dense fog in these darker gray areas. So do make sure you're allowing extra time as you travel. You can see the fog off in the distance from 7th and Range Line. We got otherwise sunny skies, 68 degrees in Joplin. We've been holding that temperature all morning, about 12 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. 67 in Yates Center, 69 Chanute, 68 Columbus, and 67 in both Lamar and Carthage as we start the day. It's going to be a hot one today. Let's talk about just how hot it's going to get. 83 by noon, 89 by 5, 93 for a high under partly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy skies hold on tonight. 73 by 11, 69 by 2 a.m. with an overnight low of 65. And the future track shows partly cloudy skies to start our day. Partly cloudy skies through Wednesday, but a hot one. Temperatures pushing as high as 95 for some of us. And then the partly cloudy skies become mostly cloudy by Thursday evening as we watch storm chances start to move into the area. And these scattered storms hold on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they even hold on into early Sunday morning before they get out of here, leaving us with partly to mostly cloudy skies and warm temperatures in the 7 days. Shows that where we start to heat up. So at least the last couple of days of the Labor Day weekend are looking pretty decent but hot. Decent but hot, hot but decent, whichever way you want to view it.
All right, well, I'd rather not say hot at all. We'll just say decent.
Decent it is. Decent and partly cloudy. How's that?
There you go.
I like that.
Up next, why you should drink black tea more often.
And later, we take a look at a mockumentary about leaders of a mega church trying to recover from a scandal. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. In Health Watch this morning, a good reason to have a cup of black tea and new questions about the use of an ineffective COVID treatment. Elise Preston has a look at some of the day's top health stories.
A new study reveals widespread hospital use of monoclonal antibodies to fight COVID-19 after the FDA deauthorized use of the treatments in January. Researchers at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center say more than 158,000 doses of the laboratory treatments were administered even though the FDA determined they provided little or no benefits in the battle against the deadly coronavirus. A warning from health professionals that pregnant women are being exposed to chemicals that can cause cancer and harm child development. Researchers at the University of California, San Francisco say the toxic chemicals are found in hair coloring, plastics, and pesticides. Nearly all women in the study showed traces of melamine and cyanuric acid, but women of color and those with the greatest exposure to tobacco had the highest levels. And drinking black tea could help you live longer. Researchers at the National Institutes of Health found people who drank 2 or more cups of black tea per day had a 9 to 13% lower risk of death. They say the findings suggest that drinking tea, even at higher levels, can be part of a healthy diet. That's a look at some of the day's top health stories. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
After a pretty decent start to the day, it's going to be kind of hot by the time we hit the afternoon. 83 by noon, 89 by 5 with an afternoon high of 93 degrees. As we go into tonight, 73 at 11, 69 by 2 a.m., partly cloudy skies and an overnight low of 65. Future track shows partly cloudy skies to start our day, partly cloudy skies for most of our day on Wednesday with hotter temperatures than what we've seen. Mostly cloudy by Thursday with increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. We watch scattered thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even into Sunday morning. Because they're scattered, we're still going to get a bit on the toasty side, but it's not going to be too bad. And we'll get a couple of good days for the Labor Day weekend. We're looking at maybe 90 on Sunday, 93 on Monday under partly cloudy skies. We're back right after this.
Welcome back. We've got a couple of special guests returning this morning. We have Betty here from the SEK Humane Society, a resident there, and Kelsey Keeney.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Well, while we have Betty seated, why don't you tell us a little bit about her?
Yeah, so she is a 9-year-old black lab mix. She is very active this morning, but she does know how to sit and shake on command. She knows how to turn around. She's just looking for a home that's as active as she is in her old age, and then just a home with no other pets.
Yeah. Does she not get along with other dogs, or is it more of an attention issue?
It's a little bit of both. She does prefer having the attention mainly on her.
Hey, Betty, come back over here.
Come on.
Betty, come here.
Come on.
Come here, Betty. Come here.
Good girl.
Come here. Yeah. Right. Let's show them how you can sit. Good dog. Good dog. Yes. Yeah, she's a sweetie, that's for sure. And you said she's 9?
Yeah, she is 9. She is one of our elders.
Now you have a couple of other longtime residents that were adopted recently. I think Jack and Cooper.
Yeah, so Cooper actually got adopted yesterday, and Jack got adopted last weekend, and Betty is next in line. She is our next longest resident here.
All right, so we need to make sure that Betty can get a forever home as well. Now you guys have lots of dogs and cats, and do you have other animals besides those?
No, just dogs
and cats.
Dogs and cats
right now? I know occasionally you had some like rabbits and stuff.
We do have a turtle that comes to visit us every morning.
All right. Oh, hey, here's Mr. Chicken. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, so Mr. Chicken, he was actually unfortunately dumped at the pits next to us. Aww. So it took us a couple weeks to actually get him lured over to get him, but he does really fine. He's very energetic. He actually came in with another dog we have by the name of Miss Hen. But he was more friendly towards us, so we got him pretty quick. And then for her, it just took a little bit more time, but they're finally back together and just living life.
So Mr. Chicken and Miss Hen. Okay, and here's Hopper.
Yeah, so Hopper, Eden, and Asher are all part of what we call the river pups. They're all red heeler mixes. But a couple years ago, our director, Jasmine, she actually witnessed that someone had dumped their whole litter of 10 or 11 puppies into a river, and she went in herself and got them all out.
Wow. Okay, so there's a picture of Hopper. Let's take a look at Eden, or no, well, maybe not. We'll look at them later, I guess.
Yeah, that is Lula. She is another old lady, kind of like Betty here. She's a little bit younger, but she's another black lab mix. She doesn't have quite as much energy as Betty does, but she is very active, and she just would like a home with no other cats.
Okay. Not well with cats.
Yeah.
My dogs can relate to that. All right, who do we have next? There is Eden, one of the, you call them the river dogs? River pups?
Yep.
River pups. Okay. So how many of them were there originally?
I believe there were about 10 or 11 of them.
Okay. And you just have 3 left now?
We just have 3 left. They are very skittish of people still. We've been working with them every day, and it is still kind of a struggle to even like get them on a walk, but we've noticed that they're opening up just a little bit more. It just takes a lot of work with them.
So you've had them since they were little, though?
Yes, we've had them, I think, about 2 years now.
Oh, wow. It's time to find them a home. Have you,
oh, yeah.
Do we have Asher as well? Do we have a picture? There we go. There's the final one. Okay, so I see there's no adoption fee on Asher. Is that, how does?
Yeah, so actually all of the river pups and Betty here are all sponsored, so they have no adoption fee.
That's cool. How does, this one is sponsored by Kansas Crossing. That answered my question right there. You have, so if you can't adopt an animal, but you want to help out, that's something you could do by sponsoring them and.
Yeah, it's just paying their adoption fee. For dogs, it's $65, and then for cats, it's the $45.
Okay, so that's one way to help if you can't have a pup. Or there's other ways that you can help by donating items as well.
Yeah, so we actually have a wish list on Amazon, and then it is also linked on our Facebook page and our website. And it's really just like all the items we're in need of, like cleaning supplies, things for the animals and stuff like that. But you just check it out there and just see what we need, and you can always donate it.
Okay, and real quickly, let's talk about Sunday's event that you guys have going on at Lakeside Park.
Yes, so that is with Little Balkans. We're going to be having 2 to 3 dogs on site, and all of their adoption fees will be waived. They're all just looking for their forever homes. I believe we're going to have, let's see, who was it? I believe we're going to have Periwinkle there. She's a warmer hire mix, so she's Kind of a rare breed, but definitely a lot of interest in her.
All right, well, if you are interested in Betty or any of the other animals during the week, give them a call, set up an appointment to come out and do an adoption, or you guys are open on the weekends as well.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you for coming in this morning and bringing us Betty. All right, we will be right back. It's time to honor today's four-state hero, Sergeant Merle Perez. This native of Quapah, Oklahoma, served from 1941 to 1945 as part of the 45th Infantry Division, 179th Infantry Regiment. To Sergeant Merle Perez, we thank you, today's four-state hero.
Whether or not your vocabulary growing up included the phrases praise the Lord and bless your heart, you may find something familiar in a movie that's opening this weekend. Okay, my phrases were, bless his heart.
Bless your
and
heart.
what was the, yeah, that was the one when, somebody was unattractive or, whatever, your grandma would just say, oh, bless your heart.
Oh, my sweetie. David Daniel has a look.
Pastor Lee Curtis Childs faces allegations of misconduct. His megachurch may never be the same.
Lee Curtis and I, we're gonna get to the other side.
You there? Yeah, with the big old microphone. Come in closer, son. You gonna see what all the fuss is about. Showtime.
What's up? Fresh is our turn, baby.
Regina Hall and Sterling K. Brown are looking for a revival after a scandal in the mockumentary Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul.
Somebody who's grown up with organized religion, at some point in time, usually comes to this point, it's like, all right, do I really believe this? Or are there things that don't necessarily jive with my soul? And then if they don't, then what do I do next? We can edit around that, right?
That feeling of feeling trapped, but also not wanting to go anywhere because it's it is both your haven and your hell. I think it exists, and I think we've all had moments of at least feeling like that.
Filmmakers Adama and Adane Ebo agree you don't have to have grown up in a church like this to relate.
I think a lot of women who have been married to a lot of men know what it's like to feel like you are holding the weight of this entire world.
Yeah. So that's good. You can cut.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That does look like a good movie. Something I'm going to have to check out.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll have to figure out how to say those phrases again.
Yeah, because I clearly did not do that very well. Bless your heart.
Bless his soul. No, all right, another half hour of news and weather is just ahead. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14, it's spooky season. That means it's time to take a look at the upcoming horror movies.
It's not yet.
It's almost September 1st.
Okay, it's going to be Christmas season on
They've
September 1st.
had Halloween decorations
okay.
out for months now.
All right. Well, we're also going to take a look at why pedestrian deaths have soared up 80% since 2009. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Police have arrested a woman suspected of assaulting a man with a knife. When they found her, she was with a stolen car. Authorities say Chloe Crow of Lamar assaulted the man at the Divine Estates apartment complex in Lamar. The victim suffered a cut to his neck, and they say he did not know the suspect. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Crow is charged with first-degree assault and first-degree vehicle tampering. Authorities respond yesterday afternoon to a tractor-trailer fire along I-49 near the Bella Vista bypass. They say the semi became fully engulfed in flames when it then spread across both southbound lanes. Traffic along I-49 was completely stopped and diverted to US 71. The semi was carrying cardboard. Nevada's Senior Behavioral Health Center reopens after 2 years of being closed. Nevada is one of a few senior psychiatric centers in the state of Missouri. The center says with 8 new beds and cameras, they're ready to keep safety their #1 priority. They specialize in patients ages 55 and older.
Our local care providers have to send our patients far away to other counties and even other states to get the kind of health care that we can provide here. So it's really, really good that we're able to do this now.
The center will start taking patients September 1st. A Joplin man has found his own way to help international students at Missouri Southern besides hosting them. KOAM's Yana Hatula has more.
A Joplin resident, Ed James, has been taking the international students on Walmart trips every Monday for several years now. It all started with a conversation with an international student.
We need a way to get around. We can't drive. Everything is so far away.
Once Ed James and his wife got the word out about helping internationals get to Walmart, he expected maybe 5 people to show up. However, the first Walmart run gathered more students than they would have ever imagined.
50 students show up, and we were like so overwhelmed. From then on, we were like, okay, yeah, this is important.
It hasn't only been the students who James helped.
International professor that worked here at Missouri Southern who used to ride with me to Walmart runs.
A weekly Facebook sign-up that James invented together with a Missouri Southern employee has made it easier for him and his wife to know how many students are in need of a ride each Monday.
Now we're up to like 4 and 5 trips on a Monday.
The current students appreciate the free trips as they love to cook their own country's foods.
Sometimes I really want to cook something like Korean food or like kind of Japanese food, everything.
The students say the trip does not only help them to get groceries, but also make friendships with other internationals.
Last time Walmart trip, in the Eddie's car, I met a lot of friends. I made a friend in his car.
James wants to help international students because his own children did not receive as much help as they could have when studying abroad, and he knows how it feels as a parent. Even though he has a busy life with a big family and being a nurse, he makes time for things that are important for him.
We just want to make a difference in their life. It's the right thing to do. It's the godly thing to do. But more importantly, if the rest of the world did these things, it'd be a better place.
In Joplin, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
This semester, James and his wife have taken 60 international students on Walmart trips on Monday evenings. Well, Monday saw the return of the Little Balkans Days. It's a week-long celebration in Pittsburgh to celebrate the region's diverse cultural and ethnic heritage. Events every night, all week long, from lots of music, tons of food, and dancing, just to name a few. Also, Friday night is a senior Queen and King pageant.
The festival was started in 1985 by a group of volunteers that wanted to celebrate the cultural and immigrant heritage of the area, celebrate our coal mining history because it's been a large part of how this community was founded and created. And so we do that this year with lots of fun, lots of live music, tons of food, and we literally have something for everybody.
It's a blast. Everyone should attend. Little Balkans Days ends Sunday, September the 4th. There are several ethnic foods that also tell some history. On Monday, folks can learn how to cook some of the food through the Little Balkans Cooking School. It was a hands-on experience with samples and recipes included.
So this is the 37th year of the festival. It started back in 1984 in the planning phases, and 1985 was the first year, and it's to celebrate the cultural and ethnic heritage of the immigrant community and coal mining community here in Southeast Kansas.
Cooking School organizers hope to make this an annual event during the Little Balkan Days. Well, an Alabama deputy sheriff, well,
he had goats in his police car.
Yeah,
can you believe this? He found some.
Are we going to do the story?
Absolutely. Oh, we lost the video. That's so sad, but here's the deal. He had some really cool goats. He found them. And he turned it into an opportunity for a free ride and a drive-through. Maybe at some point we can bring you that video. I make no promises, but it certainly sounds like it was absolutely
It could be a running thing. We tried to do it yesterday and ran out of time. So we lost the video today. So maybe tomorrow we'll get it.
We'll bring you coats and goat. My goodness,
goats and cop cars coming soon.
Eventually, this is the greatest tease in all of history. Goats and cop cars.
Yeah.
Coming soon to a television screen near you.
There's nothing bad about it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, all right, we're done. It's been a pleasure this morning. We'll see you all later. We've got fog to talk about. It's starting to lighten up a bit, but you can still see we have quite a bit of it out there. So if you're driving, please be careful. And you can see the fog off in the distance here, and you can see it's slowly starting to burn off. Now the sun is climbing higher into the sky. In Joplin, it's 7th and range line, partly cloudy, 68. We've been holding on to that temperature in Joplin all morning long. We've got 69 Chanute, 67 Parsons, 69 Miami, and 68 in Neosho. So as we go through today, it's going to be hot. It's going to be pretty hot compared to what we've seen. 83 by noon, 89 by 5, 93 for the afternoon high under partly cloudy skies. More partly cloudy skies tonight, 73 at 11, 69 by 2 with an overnight low of 65. We are looking real quick at the future tracks. I want to show you. We've got partly cloudy skies tomorrow. It's going to be a bit hotter. And then we'll continue with partly cloudy, becoming mostly cloudy skies by Thursday. Still kind of hot, but we're watching increasing shower and thunderstorm chances heading into Thursday, into Friday, into Saturday, and into early Sunday morning. Now, these are going to be scattered thunderstorm chances, so it's not a complete washout for the whole weekend. And then once they clear out Sunday morning, we're going to be left with partly to mostly cloudy skies and another hot one on our hands. 93 tomorrow, and we get into the weekend. We get through the rain. 90 on Sunday, 93 on Labor Day, so not bad for Labor Day weekend whatsoever. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Well, this morning we're discussing shoes. So look out, flats and sneakers and things like that, because high heels are making a comeback. Signature click-clack noise is once again echoing throughout the offices and streets nationwide. It signals a move away from the comfy styles that we got into during the pandemic. With those COVID-19 restrictions easing, more people back in the office. Also, some of your events that got postponed, well, they're coming back too. So, with that said, data collected by market research company the NPD Group highlights the rebounding sales. But if you think going back to high heels means you got to sacrifice comfort, you don't. There's plenty of alternatives that are out there. It brings us to our something to talk about. We had a frightening photo from earlier this year that, there it is. Yeah, there it is. I tried out some high heels for the Freeman Stiletto Sprint, and let me tell you, first off, they're extraordinarily uncomfortable. Second off, they're extraordinarily uncomfortable. And third, I have no idea how you women pull those things off. They are unpleasant, to say the least. So that brings us to our something to talk about. What's your favorite kind of shoes to wear? So far, 30% of you say sneakers, 47% of you say high heels. All right, more power to you. 6% flats, 11% boots, and 6% of you say others. Well, Serena Williams last night won her first round match in what could be her final U.S. Open. But win or lose, tributes are already pouring in for arguably the greatest tennis player in history. Bradley Blackburn reports.
It was the largest nighttime crowd ever recorded at Arthur Ashe Stadium. More than 29,000 people there to watch a moment in tennis history. Among them, celebrities and politicians. Serena Williams holding court, the Queen of Queens beginning her farewell. But not resting yet. She defeated Danka Kovinic to advance to round 2 of the U.S. Open, back in the place where she won 6 of her 23 Grand Slam singles titles.
Know that I love you so much, and I'm so excited to be here.
This month, she wrote in Vogue magazine she will soon be evolving away from tennis to focus on having a second child and pursue business interests. Last night, she was asked if this will be her final tournament.
Yeah, I've been pretty vague about it, right? Yeah. I'm going to stay vague because you never know.
After more than 20 years of tennis, when she and her sister Venus changed their sport, she has earned the tributes from Billie Jean King.
Thank you for sharing your journey with every single one of us. We love you.
And from countless fans.
She has paved the way for the future of tennis for black and brown girls. To do it alongside her sister, when will you see that again? You will not.
But we can still see it now. Williams returns for round 2 on Wednesday. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Serena will face the current world number 2 in the next round. Her first U.S. Open win came in 1999, 23 years ago when she was just 17. Back with another look at your forecast right after the break. All right, so fog's still hanging on for some of us, so do be careful if you're out there doing some traveling. And it's interesting how it's been shaped. Like here's a goat down here. We got a beaver up here. The fog taking shape. Don't make faces, Tanya. You can very clearly see the beaver and his tail, and then you've got the goat. There's his horn, there's his face, and there's his legs. I'm telling you, that's... he's probably heading down for a cop car. This fog will eventually burn off, and then it'll give us partly cloudy skies today. 7th and Rangeline in Joplin, partly cloudy right now, 68 degrees, and Joplin's been holding on to this temperature all morning. Chanute's been floating around 70. Now Yates Center is warming up at 70. Welch, the warm spot, at 71. 70 in Miami and 68 in Neosho. As we go through today, it'll warm up quite nicely to be a hot one. 83 at noon, 89 by 5. Partly cloudy skies and a high of 93. Tonight, partly cloudy skies again. 73 at 11, 69 at 2. 65 for an overnight low. And on the future track, we're watching partly cloudy skies again tomorrow. Another hot one, though. And then we're going to watch increasing clouds Thursday as our next storm system starts to bring us some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and they'll persist into Friday and into Saturday, and they'll eventually clear out Sunday morning. And again, these are scattered storms, so not a complete washout by any means, and then it'll still just be hot. 93 tomorrow, 92 on Thursday, 95 on Friday, 90 Saturday and Sunday, but we start to clear out. We get partly cloudy skies Sunday and Monday, so at least we can wrap up the Labor Day weekend with some nice weather and those partly cloudy skies. Now, here's Tanya with Consumer Watch.
That's right. In Consumer Watch this morning, the Department of Transportation says pedestrian deaths have soared 80% since 2009. Many cars now come with technology that can help prevent a pedestrian crash, but a new study finds it does not often work well at night. Elise Preston reports.
This surveillance video from March shows two sisters walking on a Florida sidewalk at night. Seconds later, a car hit and killed one of the sisters as they were crossing the street. Many newer vehicles have automatic emergency braking that engages when the driver doesn't react fast enough. Studies by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety show these systems typically perform well in daylight, but that's not the case when it gets dark. Of the 23 vehicles tested at night, only 4 received a superior rating.
The Ford Mustang Mach-E, the Nissan Pathfinder, and then the Toyota Highlander and the Toyota Camry. Those were the 4 vehicles that got our best rating.
IIHS President David Harkey says 15 other vehicles received an advanced or basic rating. Many didn't reach a superior grade because they struggled to stop at higher speeds. 4 cars didn't even qualify for a rating because they failed to hit the brakes in a variety of scenarios.
Improving the technology could help with a growing problem. The Department of Transportation estimates more than 7,300 pedestrians were killed in 2021. 3/4 of those deaths were at night.
The IIHS sees a way for automakers to quickly make improvements because most of the vehicles that struggled at night actually performed well during the day.
They believe that they can do this with the existing technology with some small tweaks.
It's hoped those tweaks will lead to fewer crashes and make a big difference when it comes to saving lives. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. As the summer box office wraps up, we're looking ahead to the fall movie season, specifically much anticipated scary movies on the way.
Like the scary elfin ghost behind us. Ashley Dvorkin brings us a preview.
An exciting fall is in store for horror fans, from frightening franchises to brand new originals, including Barbarian with Bill Skarsgård.
If Jaws was the movie that, made us not want to go into the water again, Barbarian is going to be the movie that makes us not want to rent an Airbnb.
Smile terrifyingly turns that frown upside down.
Doctor has a traumatizing experience, begins to see things that aren't there. Of course, other people that this is happening to wind up having a smile on their face and then dying a week later.
A House of Darkness.
Yeah, this is written and directed by Neil LaBute. It stars Kate Bosworth and Justin Long. Justin Long plays a guy who's going home with a girl. He thinks, hey, we're going to go up to this girl's private estate. It's going to be great. I'm going to get lucky tonight. Things go from sexy to sinister real fast.
And it's time for Halloween Ends.
Is it the final showdown between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers?
What we know about this is that, yes, it is the final showdown between Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. Is it the final time that we see Michael Myers? Probably not. Is it ever the final time?
Plus, the prequel, Pearl.
It's a prequel to a film that came out this year.
Yeah.
Mia Goth comes back. She stars as Pearl, who is a younger version of the killer character that we have in X.
Olivia Wilde directs Don't Worry, Darling.
Harry Styles and Florence Pugh play a couple seemingly living the perfect life in 1950s America suburbia, but there's something happening, and there's cracks all around them. What is happening? Are they really living where they think they're living?
I don't want to be here. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
So we're just talking about our own ghost stories.
Yeah.
So I've had a ghost. Whether you believe it or not, I'm telling you, I've experienced it, I've lived it. I've had one that's followed me since I was a kid. Now, I was told that when I was born, I died. And of course, they obviously brought me back. And so my mom believed that that was the reason. And I have experienced ghost-like phenomena my entire life. And my wife, Amber, loves horror movies, loves ghost movies. She's always wanted to experience a ghost. We get married. The one that follows me starts messing around in the house. She no longer wants to experience ghosts because she's seen and heard it. Our kids have seen and heard it. It's just very interesting.
All right. Well, I have similar stories too, but we should probably save them for another day.
We'll on Halloween, we'll devote some time telling ghost stories.
Ghost stories.
We'll dim the lights and everything, and we'll tell some ghost stories with a campfire in the background here.
Ooh.
Today, though, not a good day for a campfire because, first off, dealing with this fog that is slowly burning away as the sun comes up, which is a good thing, but if you're out, we're still dealing with some, so do be cautious. Watch out for some of that dense fog that could be patchy around the area. You can see it at 7th and Range Line, slowly starting to burn off in the distance. And we are doing a pretty good job with temperatures. 68 degrees is where we are. It's where we've been in Joplin all morning. We got 70 in the 8th Center, 69 in Iola and Fort Scott, 68 in Nevada, and 68 in Neosho. As we go through today, it's going to be another hot one. 83 by noon, 89 by 5, partly cloudy skies with a high of 93. Tonight, we'll get down 73 by 11, 69 by 2 with a low of 65 degrees. And they're watching scattered thunderstorm chances as we head into the end of the week. So we get through tomorrow, 93, mostly cloudy skies. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, watching storm chances. They'll be scattered, but they're there each day. And they clear out Sunday morning, giving us at least a couple of good days on the Labor Day weekend, although they will be a bit on the hot side. More of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. The Department of Justice is expected to respond today to former President Trump's request for a special master, a neutral party who will review the documents the FBI took from his Mar-a-Lago home. Yesterday, the DOJ said they already reviewed the documents and found a limited number that could be covered by attorney-client privilege. A hearing on the matter will be held Thursday in Florida. And today marks 1 year since the last of the U.S. military left Afghanistan, ending America's longest war. In the chaotic days leading up to the withdrawal, a suicide bomb killed 13 U.S. troops and 170 others near the Kabul airport. 2 U.S. veterans groups assisting Afghans who fled the country say President Biden spoke to their leaders on Monday. Afghan Evac says President Biden pledged to maintain and expand the relocation and resettlement program. The next window for NASA to launch its Artemis 1 test flight is Friday after officials scrubbed Monday's attempt to send the rocket into space due to fuel leaks and engine trouble. If engineers cannot resolve the issues quickly, it could be weeks before NASA can try again. Artemis program hopes to send astronauts to settle on the moon as early as 2025.
As we head out the door today, we got some fog to deal with, but decent temperatures. A hot one, though, 83 at noon, 89 by 5, partly cloudy skies with a high of 93. As we head into tonight, temperatures drop off to 73 by 11, 69 by 2 a.m., 65 for your overnight low tonight under partly cloudy skies. A quick check of the future track does show partly cloudy skies tonight into tomorrow, where it's going to be kind of hot and kind of toasty. And then we get storm chances building by Thursday into Friday into Saturday as well. So on the 7-day forecast, you can see that they're going to be scattered storm chances, but they're there nonetheless. They clear out by Sunday morning, leaving us with some hot temperatures to wrap up the Labor Day weekend.
All right. Well, more and more companies are bringing Legos into the office for workers.
Something my kids would enjoy. Some employers say the toys help people with communication, anxiety, and being creative. That's according to a story in the Wall Street Journal.
A program called Lego Serious Play is also driving the popularity and the use of Legos in the workplace. It's a training activity companies use to help bring up concerns by initially building a small Lego model with bricks. Workers then think about what's being built and why.
Companies including Procter & Gamble, Lexus, and Microsoft have used the training program. Very interesting. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.